Oh man, we're live with another COFOH Live Undead. And man, I got so much coffee in me, I'm gonna spray. I'm your host, Daniel Crozier. This is COFOH Live Undead, and I'm here with Troma's Thom DeMicco and John Ferri. But first, you write something on my face. Oh man, Thom, John, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks, man. How you guys doing out in Colorado?
We're doing okay. You know, the seasons change, so here comes the nuclear winter. So it's great.
Yeah, it's hit here already. So I hope you're ready.
Right. Yeah. I was talking to Thom earlier about how you guys are dealing with all the quarantine and stuff. I guess New York is shutting down in pockets again, but you guys are out in New Jersey, right?
Yeah, we're both in Jersey. We're in different spots, though. I'm more north, and Tom's kind of down by the Jersey Shore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What a great reality show. I'm sorry you have to live that.
I know. Well, it's been so long. You would think we would have outlived it by now, but they just keep bringing it back. So it's like impossible. They just want us to be reminded about it all the time.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. It's like I don't know. People that are actually from down here get upset because the people portrayed in that show are people from North Jersey near John and people from New York. It's not people who live down here, generally speaking, don't really act like that. It's more kind of like, more of a beach kind of vibe. It's a lot chiller I guess as calm as New Jersey can be.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it's just not a clear representation of the demographic.
No, I mean, it's a clear representation of the summer down here. During these COVID times.
Right. Yeah. So, gentlemen, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're both filmmakers, and your work for Troma. Thom, where do you come from, and how did you get into filmmaking?
I come from Bricktown, New Jersey, which is a small little shit town on the Jersey Shore. Not known for really anything. And honestly, I fell into filmmaking by accident. Really, I grew up not thinking that was a possibility. I not very financially well off. Didn't come from that kind of background. I came from very lower middle class, blue collar background, and it was just by chance I got into mixed martial arts.
Cool.
In the early 2000s, and I moved down to Miami, Florida, and was working for Team Nogueira, mixed martial arts. It's Antonio Minotauro Nogueira, who is a former UFC champion. I was working for his gym.
Nice. And
was kind of like the personal assistant to Daniel Valverde, who was the full-time coach of the gym.
Cool.
Did that for a few years. I worked at a club for a few years, and then when I had moved back to New Jersey, I kind of fell in love with Troma again. Ran into Lloyd at a few conventions. It was decided I wanted to do something with Troma and kind of help out with something. Shakespeare Shitstorm was just starting to come out and was just starting the post production.
Okay.
And Lloyd just happened to be looking for an assistant at that time. I went over, and because I had the experience of doing it before, he was like, okay, well, you don't have the film experience, but you got everything else I need. So, the film stuff I can teach you. Everything else is stuff I can't teach you. So I've been there for almost 2 years now. And I mean, thanks to my good friend, John Ferri, it's been an absolute joy Michael, Hers, and Lloyd are, like the two best mentors anybody, I'm sure John will tell you, that anyone could ask for.
Oh, that's awesome. So, were the two of you, friends prior to this, or did you meet on the job?
No, we met on the job. As it turned out, Lloyd's previous assistant, a guy named Flavio Barbosa, a incredible guy. He had some family stuff going on. It was originally from Brazil and had to go and go back down to Brazil to take care of some stuff. So he wound up leaving a little bit early. When I came on, it was kind of like, things were kind of moving in a rush. And unfortunately, the person who was in John's position doing the marketing and sales was planning to go back to school. Had already planned to leave, but because this had happened with the other guy, he stayed on to help us out for a little bit. And John started maybe 3 or 4 months probably after me. So we've pretty much been there together the whole time. For a while, it seemed like I was there for so much longer than him. But now looking back, it just seems like we've been there together the whole time. It's great. We got a great team of people. I know he'd hate me if I said his name on anything public, but Kyle Corwin is the staff editor at Troma. He's a great guy. He's really talented. He's great at what he does, and he's the backbone, especially of like the social media and our YouTube channel. He really keeps everything together. We have a great team. Me as a new graphic artist. I said it all comes down. It starts at the top with Lloyd and Michael, and it trickles down. We have a great team. We work really well together, and it's lucky, especially during these times, to not only have a job, but to to still be able to do stuff creatively and think of new ways to do what we've always been doing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. John, how about you? What's your background?
Well, it's a little less complicated than Tom's. I grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey, and went to Catholic school as a kid, went to Catholic school as a teenager, and then went to Catholic school for college, and was just told to, I had that mindset that I had to work towards something and figure out what I want that could make me money. And honestly, nothing ever really made me happy other than when I was watching movies. And from a very young age, I watched stuff like Psycho and Halloween when I was like 4 or 5, because my parents, while they were great, wanted me to have something to enjoy. And that was always the thing that I enjoyed the most. So as I got into college and I was studying English and writing and stuff like that, I kind of just changed gears and decided I wanted to get more into film. But then I never really felt like I couldn't just sit down and only do that. So I took a basic job in a college and I kind of worked there for 6-7 years. And as I'm getting older, because I turned 31 this past year.
Oh, you youngin'.
I'm just saying. Yeah. As when I hit 30, it was just I know what'll make me happy. And I don't the only thing that'll make me happy is if I actually try to do it. And at that time, I was looking around for jobs and I saw there was an opening at Troma because the PR guy was going back to college. His name was Arlo Sanchez.
Arlo.
What's up, Arlo?
He's not watching us.
Yeah, he might be. But he was a great guy. And he was able to shadow me, or I was able to shadow him and see how the whole process was, because I didn't have a great background in film marketing and PR, but it was always seen as a first step into doing it and then helping me figure out what I want to do. And I have Tom to thank for pushing me into being in front of the camera, which is something I never really wanted to do, but now I really like doing.
Cool.
And even just
because I don't want to do it myself.
Yeah, but I mean, still, you help encourage me to put pen to paper and to get ideas down. And nice. I needed that push, and being here, I am so thankful to Lloyd and to Michael and to Kyle and to Maria and to Maris. For real, the whole environment,
and Pat, we can't forget Pat either. Even though she's not in the office, Pat, Pat Kaufman, Lloyd's wife, the commissioner.
Right. Pat is amazing. Holy crap.
She's great. She's such a sweet woman.
Yeah.
The whole team, we work as a team. We work amazing as a team. And when we get to do projects like this Night's End, Tom and I get to bounce ideas off of each other, and we kind of want to grow into doing these productions on bigger and bigger scale to where we can make a feature eventually or something like that. You know, like it all starts with us finding our footing and seeing who works well, and like this is the opportunity that I've always been waiting for, and this I couldn't honestly couldn't be happier with the chances I've had.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. It sounds like you guys have been able to coalesce into a wonderful team and make some amazing things happen. A lot of wonderful independent art. For those at home, that don't know, the two of you worked on, Thom, correct me if I'm wrong, your first short film, This Night's End, right?
Yeah, this is the first one that I directed and that John starred in.
Cool.
Oh, it's the first one we made where we weren't on acid.
I want to see those ones too. Yeah. Come on.
That one's actually going to be available. There's a film called Latched that will be available on Troma now next month, John.
Yeah,
John said. It will be that me and John did in the Troma basement on acid.
Very quick.
Day of the Blood Stab premiere, which was a film that me and John helped produce and worked on a short film with a kid named Dwayne Mendez. That's like the Troma fan, really, right, John?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Latched is you have to go into Latched thinking what kind of film can you make with no script and no budget. So I think we came out with something.
We have a green screen, and we have cameras. I mean, we don't need the budget or scripts.
Yeah, you don't need too much more than that.
Yeah.
I yell at people until they do what I say. So like it was going to happen sooner. We'd get what we needed sooner or later.
It started off as like an improv practice kind of thing, and then it was like, let's turn the cameras on and be something, and then
I didn't have is me making fun of you and Sebi, or you and it was you and Sebi. Sebi Martinez, one of our great friends who was actually the editor on Shakespeare's Shitstorm. When he was still in office finishing the movie, we would all hang out, after the day, and the two of them were always, I can't remember the name of there was a dating app that they were talking about that they were using in real life. It sounded like, what was it? It sounded like Hinged. It was the Latch. Latch was
the one that you were like, you're supposed to delete it. You download it to delete it, like to get rid of it. To get rid of it. That's the intention.
I don't know. I'm too old for that shit, man. I can't. those dating apps, man.
There's always Craigslist. You can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
And truck stops. That's safe.
Yeah, but you never know what's going on there.
We don't have a lot of truck stops. You usually don't even have to stop for gas when driving through Jersey.
That's true. I guess it's more of a Midwestern thing. That's where the glory holes come in.
Yeah.
If you're curious, just stick your eye through the glory hole. You'll see everything.
You're taking a chance every time. Every single time.
Oh man. So that's cool. The Thom, you sent me a rough cut of This Night's End. Yeah, it's a wonderful piece. It's very not like usual Troma fare. So how did you come to doing something that's, I guess it's a little bit more erotic and dramatic?
That was more. I mean, that's kind of like based on like a period of my life. I worked at a swingers club in a part of Florida for the better part of half a decade.
Nice.
So I had a lot of weird, crazy stories about that. Actually, Lloyd was the first one who was like, well, you should write that. What was it? We were 9/11. That was it. We were at the Spectacle watching Toxic Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
I was a sophomore in college, I think, at the time of when 9/11 happened, and I was telling Lloyd a story about how we got caught in the parking lot, me and my ex-girlfriend, and I went down on her because we were in the parking lot for like an hour. The area where I went to college, Brookdale Community College in Lincroft, New Jersey, is in Monmouth County, and it's a highly populated area for people who commute to New York to work.
Right.
So they were very devastated by everything that happened. There, a lot of people from that area, and it got like when we showed up to the school, we got into the parking lot but couldn't get out because everywhere, like all the classes, of course, and everything was canceled. So we were stuck in a car, and I'm a pervert. So
You gotta do something.
I got caught. One of my friends actually had caught me. My friend Amanda had caught me and called me out on it a few days later. But somehow that came up because we were talking about 9/11. Where it was like, oh, that's great. You got to write something about that.
Yeah.
And I just got into thinking about other stuff. I was like, well, that's not even the craziest of things that like I've done or seen, you know.
Right.
So when I had worked at this club, I had the idea of writing a book because I mean, honestly, I used to draw a real lot and was doing comic books because I always wanted to do film or TV, but
I know that feeling.
just never felt like it was something that I'd have an opportunity to do.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean, or thought I'd have a chance. So I planned on writing a book for a long, long time, and it took me a while to realize that it was just like I should just do it this way. The two, I mean, honestly, as much as like, and I agree with John, it is one of the more non-Troma kind of themes, but I feel like in what's the right word? It does kind of go in the same vein of Lloyd and Michael's earliest films, Waitress, Stuck on You, The First Turn On, and Squeeze Play. There's a lot the raunchier, what we call like the sex comedies.
Right.
And I mean, and honestly, as much as I mean, I love Terra Firma's, the movie that made me want to create anything. But it's cool. As an adult watching Stuck on You or watching Squeeze Play.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the movies that I watch, and I'm like, I get that. That's the stuff I watch now, and I'm like, that's what makes me want to. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but John has the same kind of opinion, I think, as we've talked about. I'm like, they were so far ahead of their time. Lloyd and Michael were 10, 15 years ahead of their time. Those movies are what the Ferri brothers and what a lot of those people in the mid to late 90s were doing, but they were doing it in the mid to late 70s and the early 80s.
Yeah.
Had those movies come out at a little bit more of a time after, you know, the climate of the country changed, people were more open to seeing some of that stuff. I think First Turn On and I think Stuck on You would have been giant box office hits.
Nice. Yeah. I've seen Squeeze Play. It's been a long time for me. But when you mention like, you know, something like Terra Firma, that's something that always really resonates with me too. That's one of my, favorite, Lloyd Kaufman films that I absolutely just enjoy and can keep going back and watching. But yeah, it's, seeing a lot of those, sex comedies, back in the early 80s, as you mentioned, it's like, yeah, those really did inform a lot of, what you pointed out as like the Ferri brothers type movies, like Kingpin is one that I keep going back to.
I love Kingpin. That's one I still remember seeing it in the theaters.
Right. Oh, it's so much fun. Even today, it's, you don't have, too many of those like gross out, raunchy, comedies as much, anymore. So I guess, for that, you definitely do need to kind of look towards independent filmmakers to produce, something along those lines, which you guys are coming a long way. Let's go. Keep it going.
No, it's honestly, this is the time that for independent filmmakers to really try to make a mark. We just sat through AFM for Troma with Shakespeare Shitstorm, Newton Black, the Portuguese film by Fernando Ali, which is, I mean, it was tearing up the festival circuit. It's great. It's such the spirit of Troma. Like a lot of the people we work with now, Brandon Bassam, who did the Slashing and Slashing the Final Beginning, and also wrote #Shakespeare Shitstorm. These are like the bastard children of Lloyd and Michael spread up. They're the Liam Regan, who's doing Eating Miss Campbell right now and had done My Bloody Banjo. It's so great to see how, that's what Troma, both mine and John's stories attest to. Like, we were kids that didn't think we had a chance or didn't think it was a possibility to do this. That's the beauty of Troma. Troma gives people like us, gives people like, that have the dream but not the means, the opportunity.
Right.
So many of the people we work with are, some kids straight out of film school who couldn't believe that, a film company as big as Troma would be willing to hire them to do like decent sized jobs on a feature. That's opportunities you're not going to get from other companies. That's, for years and years and years. And some of these people, I mean, I just couldn't say some, like all these people. Hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm is a masterpiece. Lloyd's like denouement. It really, as much as Terra Firma is a big piece of his heart and who he is, I think, in my opinion, hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm is what he wants to say.
Oh man, I can't wait to see see that film when it comes out. Do you know when it's going to be available, guys?
We are currently kind of shopping it around. I mean, as much as we love like Return to Nukem High, Volume 1 and Volume 2, and some of the previous movies, this movie's a big movie that they like. This was the movie that I feel like Lloyd wanted to make for a long time, and it just took the right circumstances of money and technology. I mean, really, it was technology that gave him the opportunity, and he was able to do digital film for the first time with the Return to Nukem High films. So having gone through that process, realizing what is possible in modern digital filmmaking and digital effects, mixed with his own knowledge of practical effects, and he was able to marry the ideas and everything he put together and put out something that was a lot close to what he probably 20 years ago wouldn't have been able to think he could do. As much as he loves Romeo and Juliet, The Tempest is his favorite play by Shakespeare, like bar none, above and all. And he loves Romeo and Juliet, as we all do. That was the one for a lot of us that kind of like put Troma back on the map. But I think this was the one that he would have done had it been a possibility, because it's a lot of this film says what I think Troma and Lloyd have said for years and years and years, but in the biggest possible way.
Yeah, John and Thom, to me, like when I look at like Troma and their catalog of, especially the original productions that you guys, put out, that you produce in house. Yeah, to me, it reads like the punk rock ethos, just applied to celluloid.
John, talk. I feel like I'm talking too much.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 47 years, 46 years.
Right.
Endless amounts of genre films, and it's not just it's not just horror films. It's comedy, it's sci-fi, it's LGBT films, it's films for anybody, and it's pretty much mainly films that no big company would have made. It's all films that were independently put out or distributed or made in-house at Troma, and there in the entire library there is something for everyone. And someone may watch The Toxic Avenger and say, that's not for me, but they may watch something else and love it. I'm just saying, someone may watch it and think it's not for them, but that someone else may watch it and love it. Someone else may watch Surf Nazis Must Die and love it more than Toxic Avenger. There's an endless amount of films that will appeal to someone. Maybe not everyone, but definitely someone.
Yeah, even in the field of B movies, there's so many different eclectic tastes, to try and cater to. So yeah, it might seem like pretty niche, but I think especially stuff like Toxic Avenger, it certainly speaks to a larger demographic. You do have that archetype of not only the horror, but also the superhero.
Yeah, and like Thom said, Lloyd and Michael were way before their time.
Right.
To have a superhero who is getting revenge, but you're behind this monster. It's almost like a Frankenstein that you're in favor of, and to make it likable and to set him in such a nice area, how do you not like it? And it's filled with humor, and it's filled with over the top gore, and there's a love story. It's got heart. I mean, it has everything. And now that's what every modern movie about a superhero wants to do, is to make it not just a paint by numbers superhero movie.
Right.
But Lloyd and Michael did that 30 years ago.
Yeah. The other thing that comes to mind too is in addition to what you just stated, the B movies of yesteryear are the blockbusters of today. You take these absurdist concepts, and you just cash in a ridiculous check to finance, and there you go. They're playing in the multiplex. And it's like, but yeah, Lloyd and you know, so many other filmmakers, you know, of the time of the 70s and 80s, you know, were already doing that. And you know, they're going straight to VHS, but yeah, and playing in midnight theaters and stuff. I think that feeling is, you know, again, you know, that punk rock ethos is just so spectacular. The other thing too is like something, you know, like the Toxic Avenger. I also think it's, you know, mildly could be looked at as, you know, some type of you know, critique on you know, something like a superhero. Take Captain America for instance. You know, he had to take drugs to be you know, such a a champion and stuff. And it's like, of course, there's that aspect of, you know, being monstrous, but also trying to do, you know, the good thing by the community. One thing too, guys, you guys have quite a following. Of course, you know, you've got Gabe Romero.
Gabe,
Yeah, Mr. Felly has light in his room. I love John Felly, and you know, Rives, I guess. My heart torn and Felly.
No, that's honestly
out of this loop.
I apparently have like 10 different names that I go by, so it's pretty much whatever.
No, actually, just to be completely obnoxious for a couple of seconds, if you wouldn't mind, shout out to, you know, all the people who, I mean, we wouldn't be here for, if not for, you know, all the three people who just showed up on the screen: Reeves, Elliot, who's making an amazing film right now, The Secret of Cock Island. He's in the middle of that.
That sounds awesome.
Orlando is the director of Meet His Murder. John Bergio, Fletcher is probably not watching either by playing video games, but Gabe Romero, who is one of my favorite people, if not my favorite person in the world. If Gabe didn't exist, I might like John the most, but Gabe is as much as John's got my back, Gabe is my backbone. I love that kid. He's the best kid I know.
We'll take second place. It's fine.
I'm forget Purple Pam. Where's Purple Pam? I love that woman to death. She's so great. The song at the end of This Night's End.
She says, "Oh, I'm here."
Purple Pam, she's great. That's her song that she wrote and wrote the music for and performed, which is absolutely amazing. Brighton Buchanan, who was a contestant on The Voice from season something or other. Also, he had interviewed Lloyd and sent over a song that I completely got into. And it's called October's End. There's a video on YouTube for it, but it's featured in This Night's End. And there's a video that he got that's a lip sync video that has, I think, 34 different stars, everyone from Kane Hodder to Felissa Rose, Lloyd, Danielle Harris. Can't go on enough. Oh, Jen, who is the other star of This Night's End.
Yeah,
one of my favorite actresses. I mean, Kelly Polk, who did so much.
Oh, geez, everybody now Gabe's coming in with attacks. Oh dear.
I'm hurt, dude.
Oh, there's gonna be words.
No, we have a great crew. I'm not mentioning so many people that like need to go. Martin Vasquez and Will Manser, the two of the outside producers who helped me with this, are two of my best friends I've known for, you know, a lot of years, who came in just to, like, honestly just support me, who've always been there and kind of were waiting for me to do something like this. And just, you know, just really wanted to support Lloyd and Michael, of course. John, please help me out here.
Margaret.
I'm forgetting.
Margaret
Finn, who was also the star of This Night's End.
Sweet.
The 13th Floor Productions crew came out. Dwayne and Sydney, from the stars of Bloodstab, the first movie me and John produced.
Nice.
Through, and I'll stop sounding like a crazy person after they want to fight or something and shouting out people. But we have a lot of good people around us. Ben Johnson and Derek Johnson, who just completed a short film called Were Deer. That's a trailer that I'm pushing them to do a feature with.
Can't wait for that.
Cool.
Okay, I'm done yelling at people. We got a lot of good friends. I don't want to let anyone.
Play the music. Cut them off. Play the music.
Yeah. Where's that little shepherd's crook? That's enough. But
we got good peeps. We're lucky.
but you're right. It takes a village to make this type of art. A film requires so many disciplines and people willing to help out. My experience making film projects and everything too. It's just like show up, be helpful, be on time, do what you can, and if there's something you don't know, learn it.
Yeah. And luckily we have that kind of crew. We all work together real well, and we're all friends, but we also work on each other's projects. Like everyone kind of does different jobs. And I can't help but laugh at that. We all do different jobs, but we also switch different jobs for each production we work on. All of our actors and actresses do, will be on screen, but they also help with makeup and set design and art department stuff. Whatever. That's the reason why we were able to make a film in June in the middle of all this COVID stuff, was because we worked with a 9-person crew, secluded on a house in Long Island at our friend Jennifer's, and just took a weekend, took time, and we're all we had to take temperature checks. A lot of us had been tested as it was, so we knew we were safe, but we kept that 9-person crew down to be safe. We had actually filmed at Purple Pants too, and her house was set up in Brooklyn so that she had a big backyard, so we were able to have more people but keep everyone separated at a greater distance. It's hard to try to film a club scene with certain limitations and certain restrictions. But I think that the crew we had, we came up with some good ideas. We had some good stuff, and I think we did a great job. So
that's cool. It seems like independent films, particularly in a quarantine environment like this that we find ourselves, seem better equipped to innovate, and just because reduced numbers, what the limitations are and stuff, and really address those issues, and still, like you said, turn out some amazing art. You hear about the larger budget studio, big studio projects. They're just not really able to do that to a really successful end. You do hear about, like, specifically the Marvel films, kind of doing stuff, but even then, it's like people if they're filming outside of the country, they got to quarantine for 2 weeks and everything like that. But yeah,
it's not as equipped to adapt as an independent film. We don't have the money to throw at a problem and say fix it. We always have to create something new and come up with an idea to fix problems.
And so this is just environment. If you have a crew of like 100 plus, and you're filming, you're trying to shut down an entire city block and film. It's going to be very hard to follow the precautions that you're supposed to follow.
Right. I find that limitations do breed innovation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And with Troma, films and what you guys are doing, I think that's pretty damn clear. In wearing so many hats too, being on set, writing, producing, John, you're in this, in front of the camera acting, and Thom, I did see your little cutaway on the phone scene and everything too. So we know you got some acting chops, young man.
That's what that was. And I'll do it every now. I don't even know if I can say this, but the first thing I did was with Lloyd in a movie called Shooting Clerks, which was a Kevin Smith biopic that was put together by a guy named Chris Downey out in Scotland. Cool. It was featured, an early cut was featured on the Comic Book Man TV show.
Nice.
But yeah, like, it has to be something special for me to do that. My friend Martin, who has been like absurdly supportive of me for the past decade and a half or so, when I was living in Florida, and always pushed me to do this kind of stuff. It pushed me to do comic books, and pushed me to just continue to write. The part that I played in that was basically just him. And it was my kind of way. It was the best thing I could think of to kind of give him a thank you of like, hey man, all that shit that you gave me and all those times that you were looking out for me, like I get it now. I finally got it. I understand. So I'm a big fuck up. So it's important for me to surround myself with great people. And you know what I mean? Like, honestly, like I have great people around me. Really lucky and fortunate. So like that really was my thank you to him. It was like, thanks for not giving up on me years and years and years ago when you thought I was sleeping with your mother-in-law.
But even then, that's he saw something in you.
It's I mean, even now, John could attest. Like John, me and John never didn't know each other, and like we're real close. I consider John one of my closest like friends. And all the people who were talking shit on the chat before. We're good people.
It wasn't immediately that I thought we were going to be really good friends like this, though. Tom can be an aggressive guy, and we were talking about it the other day. I'm more of a relaxed guy, and we got a little good cop, bad cop thing going on, and I think it works really well for us.
Nice. I'd love to see you guys in an interrogation room. You should make sure you write a scene like that sometime.
John would be outside of the interrogation room smoking cigarettes on his phone the whole time. He'd expect me to do all that.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
That's cool. Well, looks like Jen has a little extra to say. Quarantine actually helps indie films. Many are on timeout with the normal jobs, so they're free to work on films during quarantine lockdown. Distractions are limited more than ever. So yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's basically what we've been talking about. So that's great.
No, and Jen's great. She's just a lover of film and of the craft of acting. And she already knows that. Hearing this isn't going to be a surprise. She already knows something else has happened. I already told her we're locking down in her house for like a week, and we're gonna just make a few shorts or put something together real quick.
Cool.
I don't know about you guys, but this is with everything so uncertain. Like, John, we plan for the future. We're always thinking 6 months ahead, 8 months ahead, a year out. It's hard to know like, hey, we don't know what's going to happen then. Things could be better then. Things could be worse. So, like,
right,
do what we can when we can.
Yeah, with that, so much of the original content with Troma, are you just redirecting efforts then to go online? Because you do have your online streaming service through Troma at Troma.com, right?
No, it's watch.troma.com. It's Troma Now. It's our streaming service. We've got something, I can't even really talk about it too much yet, but we have something else coming in the pikes sooner than you'd expect. That'll be really big for our streaming service, but we have Troma Now right now. It's watch.troma.com. It's got all of our films up there. It's got 1 million shorts by all these great young filmmakers. It's got all the current films, all the classic films. It's got a lot of Lloyd's Make Your Own Damn Movie lessons, a lot of exclusive content. $4.99 a month, first month free. It's the perfect Christmas gift for those who have that weird person in your life that you don't know what to get something for, especially those horror fans who got every single NECA
like this guy
boys thing like that. It's just around $60 for the full year, and that's a full year of Troma down your gullet.
Nice. Well, good, because this gullet needs filling.
It's great. We got a lot. We have a few really good films coming out, and luckily really it was just Divide and Conquer, right, John? That's actually filming, and then Liam's got some reshoots, but for the most part, all the films that we had in production were finishing up as COVID hit up, and then everything.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never see only me. You only see me and John arguing over John being mad that I told him to take his boxers or his shorts off.
There's some
very long story. we don't have time to play Rashomon right now with the story there, so like I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, right.
What's Cyborg Warrior? And I can't pronounce that person's name.
Cyborg Warrior is newly added on Troma now.
Oh, okay.
John can't act. He can do what I tell him if I'm really loud.
That counts.
And persistent.
That
No,
Well,
John's a great actor. He just needs to. I always told him he needs to just put himself out there and do it. Like,
yeah,
there's no, especially the way we work. It's like that's because James I was talking to today. He does a lot of sound. He writes and directs, but besides that, he does sound. I said, "What do you want to do?" I got something in the works right now that we want to do, like a real quick short. And I said, "What do you want to do?" I don't know what the hell else he wants to do, but you know, it's everyone deserves, especially the people we work that work so hard. We all deserve to kind of try new things out and do different things.
yeah.
So just having John try different things. He produces stuff with me. He, you know, and he's been acting more, and that's kind of the area I like pushing him. I kind of like him to just. I don't write a lot of crazy stuff. I just write stuff that comes from my life a lot of the time because I'm not like crazy creative. So. John is my my surrogate me. I keep getting crap because yes sir, Bill Victor, you are correct. Yeah, so I kind of whitewashed myself, but you know, I couldn't think of anyone with better eyebrows to express an emotions.
Those are very you know, photogenic caterpillars on your forehead, sir.
I know, right? I can't control them though, so.
Yeah, well, I
I'll
don't
never
know.
make a living.
You were doing that sexy C thing with your eyes there. It's like I think you're alluring a lot of you know, women to the comment section.
Oh, nice. More than just
We
Gabe.
get more hate from Gabe.
Yeah.
There you go. I've thought of all three, so like, you know, it's all on the table.
Well, it looks like Rives saying he wants to do sound again.
No, I just like to give him an option. We always the poor James always gets put as having to hold a boom all the time, and he always looks bored, and he always looks like his shoulders hurt.
But with you know, producing your own, you know, shorts, like, you know, what are the bigger challenges that you guys, you know, really had to overcome? Was it just the COVID stuff, you know, because did everything just kind of fall into place because of all the resources you already had, or, you know, was it just, you know, the creative and the technical aspects as well?
I personally think, like, Corona aside, everything, the biggest thing is always scheduling and trying to get everybody together on the same day. Because if we're shooting something small like a short and you're shooting one day or a weekend, you know, if a main person can't be there, could push it back fucking 4 months, you know.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. Weather, you know, the setting, if you're filming outside, nature, basically nature, and being able to actually be in one spot to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my initial take on it.
Yeah. How about you, Tom?
I honestly, and that's a credit to Lloyd and Michael too. I think is like as far as the way we look at pre-production and producing. That's that's what we get from Lloyd and Michael. I mean, Lloyd more specifically, but you don't get that. Lloyd, there's no way to teach how to be a director, and I don't think Lloyd's ever really tried to do that. But the more important thing is getting the movie made, and that's what the producer does, and that's what he has kind of, taught us, like directly taught us how to do. And that's, I think that gives us the ability to open ourselves to be able to try the other things, and whether it's like writing or directing or acting or anything else. It's knowing that we can get something done, knowing that it's it's whether it's a matter of money or just or finding the resources, that we've got that covered. So now we can now we can worry about the creative and the fun parts of it.
Nice.
And luckily that, like you said, it's the resources we already have, the people that we already had around us that we knew were down to do this. Especially like this was just as things were starting to open up and starting to get good. Everyone was itching to do something.
Right.
So that was, the other thing that we kind of got lucky with.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, everybody's been cooped up. They want to, be able to get out of the house and reconnect with humanity.
That's being poor has a lifetime of being poor has taught me how to get through life without any money or with very little money, and I think that's the key to production and the key to producing is figuring out how to do things for the least amount of money, and then just, I mean, honestly, I think it's a big part of recognizing talented people and the kind of people that are gonna bring that out in you.
Yeah.
For me, I think like being around people who are more talented or smarter or know more than me bring out better in me, because I feel like I have to kind of step my game up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful thing. Having people like that inspire you to do better, put out your best, and keep learning new things. It sounds like you guys got a tight knit, creative community, a creative family.
I like to think of it like that. I mean, like we're
we're on
like a project together now. This little group that we have, 4 or 5 different projects now, and I mean, every time we work on something, we get to know each other more. And like Thom said, if someone doesn't want to do sound, next time they can work on something else. If someone wants to edit one time, they can not edit the next time. There are certain roles that people excel in. I know Thom has specific cinematographers that he likes.
Not before.
No, he definitely
only cinematographer. He shoots all of our stuff. So like
that's one role that maybe film much. I want to go with Sam.
I have no idea what either of you said because you're just talking over each other. It's great. It's like your siblings. I love
it. That's what spending every day together does to you.
Yeah. Are you guys in the office, at Troma nowadays, or are you mostly working together online?
We're in there we're in there 3 days a week, 3 to 4 days a week. I've got a little different schedule because I'm still, on top of all this stuff, I'm still Lloyd's assistant.
Right.
And, handle like regular duties at the Troma offices. And with everything going on, Lloyd and Pat are still locked down in the Troma super secret COVID bunker.
Yep.
And so I've been the only one that has been able to go over there and kind of, make sure Lloyd's taken care of and, do some of the videos and different introductions and stuff for the film festivals that have been playing #Shakespeare Shitstorm. But yeah, I mean, the office, we're back open in Queens. We're not doing tours yet, which is it still feels kind of strange to be looking for, random people knocking at our door to come and check out weird penis monster molds that are 15 years old. But
yeah, watch those things in latex kind of decay miraculously.
Oh, real quick, actually, speaking of penis monsters, there's a band, I can't even, Sanguisuga Bug, that's on Century Media Records, that Sebi Martinez, who edited Shakespeare Shitstorm, just directed and I produced. They have 2 music videos coming out that we did for them. Great bunch of guys out from Ohio.
Yeah,
cool. So I don't know how much I can actually say about that, but shout out to them and to Sebi. And again, we same kind of crew. It's the same. A lot of the same people came out and worked on it. And just I don't know. It's weird. I get very emotional about and sentimental about the fact that we have cool friends that we can all do cool shit and don't. We don't have to think about it, and we're always ready and down to do whatever. So
that's pretty sweet and endearing. I think that's also if you want to work in this industry, one, you got to network, but also be nice, be cool, reciprocate, the generosity, of others, kind of that pay it forward thing. But I think that's part of that true independent filmmaking, independent art and punk rock, ethos as well.
What were your favorite? You keep saying punk rock. What were your favorite punk bands growing up?
Punk bands, Black Flag, Ramones, of course, The Clash. I only recently got into the Sex Pistols, in the last.
That was
weird.
Pistols kids. I liked a lot of the English stuff. I grew up on the Sex Pistols and nice. Crash and Conflict, a lot of like Flux of Pink Indians, a lot of the weird like NO punk bands and stuff. But no, like Black Flag, the Misfits from New Jersey. That's the that's a Troma connection too. I mean, growing up in New Jersey. What the hell was ever in New Jersey, John? What was in New Jersey, like movie wise or anything? Like what?
Danny DeVito. Bruce Willis.
Can you think that movie Diner with Daniel Stern from like the late 70s, early 80s took place in Jersey, right?
On the waterfront.
Kevin Bacon.
But that, I mean, Mallrats was one of the first. Mallrats, Toxic Avenger 2. I had seen before 1, so those, I mean,
On the Waterfront was the New Jersey one that I would think of. Classic.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Look it up.
You
guys are older than me. You guys should know this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. On the Waterfront is something I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I've seen that once, so I didn't even realize it's New Jersey related. So that's fantastic. Now, Thom, what's the next step to getting this evening's end finished and wrapped up and ready to go out, for the public?
Right now, actually, we're just finishing up on the sound design, and I mean, it's not even necessarily sound design. It's the it's more the mixing and mastering of the sound. And there's after having because we premiered it at the Another Hole in the Head Film Festival, they did their first digital one they called Mr. Hullhead's Warped Universe. So we premiered an earlier rough cut there in September. I think it was late September. And I have one pickup shot that I've got to get. And unfortunately, like we plan to release it next week. I think we're going to push back a week because we have one pickup shot we want to get, and I have some ADR. We've got to finish that because of scheduling and like everything that's going on. It's harder. I've had to kind of go to people separately rather than bring everybody together to finish some of the ADR. So it's taking a little bit longer than I want. Plus, on top of that, it's like the Troma, my responsibility to Troma kind of come first. So the movie gets, it's something I've been working on for so long, but I got a job, so that's got to get taken care of first. And I don't have the opportunity to make the movie. I don't have the opportunity to, work with all the people I have if it's not for, working with Troma. So I got to take care of that stuff first. But hopefully, I don't know. We work pretty quick. I edit pretty quick because I won't stop until I have a rough cut. So I'll edit for like 20 hours straight, and then I'll take like a month off.
You got to refuel. If you burn yourself out, you're no good to anybody.
Nah, but so hopefully I did plan to have it out for Black Friday. I have a weird thing for Black Friday. I think it's a interesting concept.
Yeah.
But no, I'm hoping that we'll do it with the beginning December releases for Troma Now. John, what do we got coming out on Troma Now besides Latched for December?
Well, it hasn't really been announced yet, but
we can have some of you know what's coming out. It's not like it's a secret.
I know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. But we can ask Mia. Is Mia watching this? Mia would probably know.
Well, I know for a fact that one of Dylan's movies is coming out. Dylan Lawrence Greenberg, who is one of the stars of #Shakespeare Shitstorm. She has one of her either movies or music videos. I know
it might be a music video.
I feel like it's a short film. I could be wrong. It might be a music video. She just did an awesome video for the song Shakespeare Shitstorm. That I don't know when that's coming out exactly. Lloyd just sent me the final cut of it either last night or this morning.
Looks great though.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Cool. Well,
lots of good stuff coming for Troma Now. Thanks, John. Thanks for getting my back on that one.
I didn't realize I was going to have my work computer open and list what I was doing for work.
Right? We were going to ask you work questions. It's like, speaking of which, the toilet handle's broken, dude. So, got to fix that at work.
Yeah.
Hey, when you guys, find out, when these releases are, let us know so that we can, post them.
Definitely.
And
thank you.
Direct some more traffic to you guys and all the fun work that you guys put in.
Yeah. All right, guys. I mean, keep up with us on social. With Lloyd's Instagram actually just went down a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's like it's just unbelievable what people like, the audacity of some people. But he's back up. He's got a new account at Uncle Lloyd Kaufman, and then at Troma Team, all of our different social media accounts. Cool. Constantly posting, keeping everybody up to date on the latest films. I mean, that's every month. Troma Now adds, numerous titles. It's usually at least like seven to 10 different things between shorts, music videos. We usually have a feature or two each month that'll go up. Different series. Since John started, we've been acquiring comic books. The Toxic Crusaders and the Toxic Avengers comic books are.
I saw that. That's awesome.
Are up there. So you know what I mean. We keep trying to do new things, try to figure out new ways, new stuff that all the great Troma fans can get into, enjoy. I'm constantly looking for new content, new stuff. Send John.Ferri@Troma.com, short films, features. We're always looking for great new stuff for Troma Now.
Yes,
cool.
Please send me your stuff.
Well, I will send you my stuff. It's mostly a lot of Xeroxes of my ass. And
that's all right. We can make that work. We will find a way to make that work.
You get enough of them together, you get a flip book. It's called animation.
Oh, you know what, Daniel? Too. This is real quick.
Yeah.
It was cool, and thank you so much for having us on. We really appreciate it. But I thought it was cool because when I first started with Lloyd, maybe not when I first started, but like one of the first big trips that I set up for him that was not like set up previously was when he went to Colorado, and he came out, and him and Pat were on the show. So
yeah, that was so much fun.
That little kind of synchronicity, that's really cool, man. I really appreciate it, and like I'm glad that you guys. I was actually. Lloyd will kill me if he knew this. I was actually moonlighting a little bit when I first started at Troma. I was still doing catering for this company that I worked for in New Jersey that I knew, the people real well, the owners. And I'd go every now and again. But while you guys were doing the podcast, I was watching from that job. And I was just like, you're going to have to give me a little bit. Like, I'm going to chill. Just relax.
Nice.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
They were great, but yeah, I would do it. There was a few. I only did it for like maybe a month or two when I first started at Troma. And it turned into the way you just didn't have the time. But yeah. I had done, that was the first one I'd done, but that was the first the first trip that I kind of set him up for, and booked the show, and, booked, him coming on with you guys. So it's kind of like a cool little, look in the rear view mirror of like, holy crap.
Yeah, no, Thom, it's always a pleasure to talk to you and to work with you. And thanks for setting that up. And, I know you made a lot of arrangements through the Oriental Theater out here in Denver, for the screening and everything. But it was such a privilege to be able to chat with Lloyd and Pat and learn so much more about their background and stuff. Lloyd
being so thankful to you guys. They said you guys were so great. You know what I mean? Like, that's
so much fun.
For us, honestly, when we send Lloyd out, Lloyd will say yes to everybody because he just wants to give people a chance. Whether it's a podcast or an interview or a magazine, you know what I mean? He gives everyone a chance. He wants to give them that opportunity. When he was young, he a lot of great people like John Alvison gave him a chance to work on stuff and help him out. So, deep down, he has always appreciated that stuff, and he always wants to give back to people. So he'll go overboard. And, it's not very many people. It's very few, but some people take advantage of that. And, you know what I mean? Like, it's good when, I send him and he goes and does stuff, and to see the people that really, truly appreciate and, and show so much respect to him and Pat especially, like that, you guys treated him the way that, like, I feel like I would have wanted to, being in an opposite situation. That means a lot to us, to the whole Troma team when people take care of Lloyd and Pat like that. So, we appreciate everything that you guys did for him. He had a great time on the show. That was almost 2 years, like a year and a half ago, maybe now. I know.
It was summer 2019. Yeah. So it was particularly great because I was able to introduce my girlfriend Elise to Troma, and
that's awesome.
she was able to join me in the theater, and we were able to watch the new Class of Nukem High, because she had no frame of reference before then. And then we went home. The nice thing too was we got the privilege of driving Pat and Lloyd to their hotel. And
thank you for that, man. Thank you, really. Like,
and it was like hanging out with your B movie dad and mom, and be able to chat about films and stuff. And then they called me the next day because they needed a ride to the airport too. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking there. So I went and picked them up, and it was so cool to be able to chat with them about animation on the plane ride there.
You'll never find any two people that love film and love the art of making film more than Pat and Lloyd.
Yeah,
like, you're really getting. That's, I mean, it's the art of making it. Like, like the way they talk, especially Pat, like the way she talks about films, like she appreciates things on a different level than even I do. Like, as far as like the making of things and what goes into getting them done. She was the film commissioner in New York for over 20 years. She was responsible for so many films being done in New York because of the tax rebates. She said, she wrote all of those bylaws, that set that up. And I mean, unfortunately now because of the way everything's going, they're starting to repeal some of those, and like they're not going to have the same tax credits coming up in the future next year for the films. Unfortunately, we were grandfathered in with hashtag Shakespeare shitstorm because we filed so long ago, and we've actually we're just finishing up the paperwork doing the tax rebate stuff for that. But it's incredible. There's a perfect kind of weird mix of people that just work so well together. They're so similar with stuff but so different. It's a good dichotomy.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, we love the Troma team. We love you guys, and we love Lloyd and Pat. So anytime you guys got something new that you want to talk about and promote, let me know. We'll set up another one of these, and then hopefully.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate everything you guys do. Just putting out your show like this and just kind of giving something. For people to enjoy, especially at times like these. It's
right. Yeah,
it's awesome, man. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, Daniel, thank you for having me on. Like you're giving us an opportunity to promote our stuff, and it just reminds me of the way that we try to give young filmmakers a way to promote their stuff. And I'm very happy to be on here, and thank you for letting us talk about our little fun film that will be premiering shortly.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the finished film. Can't wait to see Shakespeare Shitstorm. That sounds like so much fun. And hopefully when we're able to all meet up in the physical real world, one day we'll be able to have Troma out to Colorado Festival of Horror. We still have yet to have our first event, so
we'd love to come out for the first
like this now.
Would love to.
Well, I mean, it's not even really a secret because I've been talking about it for a while anyway. But This Night's End is a feature that I'm planning to make. The name of the feature is called "Swing Life Away." We'll play on words.
Nice, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, all things were planned to hopefully do it at the during the summer 2021. Probably gonna have to move it back a little bit, but we really. Are pushing that's one of the things I'm pushing towards and gearing up towards. I'm getting ready to finish out the script and kind of go through the outline again. John, of course, is going to star in it and help me produce. And we're going to work with the same team that we've always been working with. And actually, I'm going to bring in a lot of crazy people and I have a few good cameos that I have in mind. And unfortunately, Lloyd the role in This Night's End that I played was actually originally written. It was going to be Lloyd playing John's character Jack's boss. and it was going to be a conversation. And just the way it was set up, it had to be a certain way. I wanted to be in a room with girls and like fake drugs, a lot of stuff going on that I knew wasn't going to happen he wasn't going to be able to do in the middle of his house in the quarantine.
Right.
So, I mean, as much as that broke my heart to have to do my first short film and not have Lloyd in it, which really sucked. Like, I actually did, what it wound up working out a little bit better. Story-wise, was easier to shoot. And, but I think it's also something where I'll appreciate and look forward to it in doing the feature. But he's got like a really great role. It's definitely I don't know, it's like the George Carlin Jersey Girl kind of role. I think that like
the sweet grandpa.
Yeah, something different that I think Lloyd will be absolutely amazing at, but something maybe that people don't ordinarily see. And I'll actually be kind of like his left hand man. I was gonna have me and him are gonna play kind of my two old weird bosses.
Nice.
So we have a lot of great cameos and little people that we want to bring out. Different people that, especially in the horror world, everyone will be familiar with. So, maybe next year and a half, 2 years, that'll be coming out too. Checking out Troma now. We have a lot of great films, coming from our great crew. The Secret of Cock Island, Were Deer, June is going to be the next thing I think I'm producing, along with an impromptu Madman short that like we can't do anything with. But I love Mike Allred and the Madman comic books, and I talked to his son Han on Instagram. Nice. And I've always wanted to do it, so I'm just going to do it and whatever. Cool. But just a lot of cool stuff. And who else has something coming out? Bergio had Ready. I don't really know what he's doing with that, but I mean, that's coming out. There's a great documentary by J.B. Baptiste, a French documentarian called Troma, Fighting for the Underdog. That is shopping it around right now in France. He wants to do it as a TV. Well, he's already done it, but he wants to sell it as a TV documentary. And there's just great things coming from the Troma team. The Troma team's extended families all over the place. Mercedes the Muse, Divide and Conquer.
I think it was their last day filming today, so that's coming to a close end there. We're going to start seeing stuff from Divide and Conquer soon.
That's nice. It's got a lot of great features on Troma now. Rose and Victor, No Mercy. Honor Killing, which is one of my favorites. Reeves wants us to watch Bloodstab only on Troma now. That was a film we did with our good friend Dwayne Mendez that me and Reeves Elliott produced. John helped us produce, and it was like the first thing we did with all of our crew all together. That turned into like this big. I mean, it's the most successful thing I'll probably ever do. We've done 3 sold-out shows with it.
Nice.
At Troma Dance on a sold-out night, so I can't, credit Bloodstab for a sold-out night at Troma Dance where Toxie's playing. But no, it was just a great project to work on with friends. We all had a great time, and fortunately it's come out so great and been successful. I think because it was something we all did together as like a labor of love.
Nice. Man, you guys, wow, there's just no shortage of cool shit that you're doing. So I can't wait to check it all out. And I'm a little awestruck. So keep up the good work, guys. Holy crap.
Thank you, Daniel. Like I said, we get just everything trickles down from the top, and it's like Lloyd and Michael taught us right. And keep us on a good path. So, lots of great stuff coming from Troma out in the future. Check out The Slashing, The Final Beginning, which is out now, written and directed by Brandon Bassam, who screenwriter of # Shakespeare Shitstorm. Keep a look. Shakespeare Shitstorm's still playing at festivals right now. You're still looking around for the exact right way. It's hard to, come up with a complete plan right now on how to finish it. We don't want to sell it short. This is Lloyd's masterpiece, in our opinion.
Right.
So keep your eyes out. We'll be, all the Troma social media. Uncle Lloyd at Instagram, Lloyd Kaufman and Troma team at Twitter. Find us on Facebook. watch Charles Kaufman, Lloyd's Brothers movies, Ferocious Female Freedom Fighter, When Nature Calls, and Mother's Day. If you don't watch Ferocious Female Freedom Fighter, you have no sense of humor. I mean,
fair enough. Well, cool guys. Yeah, thanks for coming on the show and talking about your short film and all the cool stuff coming out from Troma. It's what a great creative community and family that you have, and even with the fans too. What a great bunch out there.
Thank you. Thank you for everything, man.
Yes, we owe everything to the fans. It's the fans are what keep us going. So like that's without them, we're not around. So
right. Thanks guys. And to everybody that's watching and been commenting, another one from Bill. Yeah, awesome show. Yeah, thank you. I think he meant Tom and John, but you're the thin one.
It's all good. I'm getting fat with the stupid COVID crap going on.
Well, you were eating potatoes when I saw you first.
But thank you. And, what I mean, keep going with the Colorado Festival of Horror. It's it's great. You guys do great programming. Keep putting it out. You guys support so many great people. So thank you for the support. People, I mean, the independent community needs people like you and more shows like yours to, I mean, the support. You guys keep all these companies going, and we appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you so much. So to everybody at home, thanks for tuning in and watching. Stay safe. Be good, be kind, help each other. We love you. And guys, go ahead, stay on for just a few more minutes. But also to my sponsors, Alien Donut Films. Thanks again, guys. And to my producers, Stephen Santa Cruz and Amanda Armstrong. Thanks so much. All right. You guys take care.